It would be easy to assume that if you're an introvert, you would be an INTJ. And if you were an extrovert, you would be an ENTP. It's as clear as day, right? This is, however, only one factor. There is far more to it than just that. Let's get right into the differences between the ENTJ and the INTJ. Make sure you watch till the end because we have a test to help you decide which ENTJ type you belong to. Number 1, emotional control. The most obvious difference between these two personalities lies here. Mature INTJs are very aware of how they feel. Because they spend time analyzing their emotions, they can control them better. In contrast, ENTJs don't trust or even fully understand their own emotions. Generally, they react to how they feel outwardly, allowing others to see their inner emotions regardless of whether they fully understand them or not. Many people interpret this as someone who is not in full control of their emotions. Number 2, productivity. Though they may seem different from the outside, these personality types actually function in remarkably similar ways. They both have task-oriented personalities. Getting things done and being efficient are important to them both. The ENTJ, however, tends to be more organized than the INTJ. ENTJs prefer to get their work done as soon as possible rather than leaving it till the last minute. As well as planning their work, ENTJs like to schedule it, whereas INTJs like to take their time and complete their work when it's convenient. Due to their independent nature, INTJs almost always work alone. As a result, they do not need to schedule their work since they have the flexibility that working alone offers. The end product of the two personalities differs as well. ENTJs take pride in the quality of their work, but they're even more proud of how efficiently the work was completed, meaning they prefer a project be completed as soon as possible rather than it be perfect in every way. Quality always comes before efficiency for INTJs. When it comes to their work, they're more patient and would rather do it right the first time rather than rush it. In the end, both personality types plan and execute the same way, but the ENTJ will be more open and share their plan. In contrast, you'll only be able to know what an INTJ's plan was by looking at the final result. Number 3, style of leadership. Both of these personality types are capable of leading. However, they lead in totally different ways. As planners, ENTJs make excellent organized leaders. They like to gather people around their plan of action and to inspire others. Even though INTJs are just as effective, they are the opposite. They have the tendency to lead by example, so people follow their actions instead of their words. As a general rule, ENTJs enjoy taking on leadership roles more than INTJs do. ENTJs enjoy being recognized for their leadership. In contrast, INTJs like to keep the spotlight off themselves and let someone else get the credit. An ENTJ's extrovert nature makes it clear to everyone that they are the one in charge and the person to follow. The INTJs, on the other hand, tend to go unnoticed, despite the fact that the quality of their work is obvious to everyone. Number 4, communication style. INTJs and ENTJs both communicate very directly, so there is a great deal of similarity between them. They won't leave you guessing what they're thinking or feeling as they are not frightened to speak their minds. The difference between these two is primarily in how they express themselves. ENTJs usually tend not to think too deeply before saying what they have to say, so they can be direct but also blunt and later regret what they have said. INTJs have a smoother way of communicating. However, despite their direct and blunt manner, they typically convey their message in a way that is more favorable. They carefully think about what they are going to say to ensure that they don't say something they'll regret later. The ENTJ can seem to have the advantage when these two personality types argue. This is because they'll be the person talking the most. Yet the INTJ is more likely to win an argument by sitting back, listening, and planning how to respond in the best way possible. Number 5, problem solving. INTJs and ENTJs differ significantly in this area. On the surface, each personality type seems very similar, but the way they approach solving problems leads to very different results. Strategy is where INTJs shine. Pattern recognition is natural to them, which gives them an advantage when solving problems. INTJs tend to have strong intuitions, and they often turn out to be right. Compared to other types of personalities, they are able to predict outcomes much more accurately. ENTJs approach work very differently. They make a plan of action to get the work done, instead of intuitively thinking of the outcome. What matters most to them is getting results, not how they achieve them. INTJs, however, prefer to think of the best course of action that will result in most optimal results. The ENTJ has an agenda first, then thinks about the morals and strategy. INTJs would focus on strategies and morals before the agenda. Because of this, ENTJs leap to action sooner, while INTJs wait until they have a better idea of the outcome they want before coming up with a solution. Many would argue that this is a much more effective way to solve problems. Number 6, coping with change. As circumstances change, ENTJs are more willing to revise their strategies. When it comes to tight deadlines and sudden changes in the situation, this can be a great strength. However, this may be viewed as a weakness if the ENTJ didn't pay enough attention to the little details. INTJs tend to defer to their plans and strategies for navigating obstacles in life, and they will be more hesitant to jump into new situations. Improvisation isn't their strong suit. INTJs can be more prone to shut out the outside completely and live in their heads when faced with extreme stress. This can be a real problem for the INTJ, particularly if shutting out the world isn't an option at that moment. Number 7, sociability. ENTJs thrive in the external world of people and social situations. They draw energy from interacting with others. They enjoy being visible and heard. They will want to share their strong opinions on most subjects. In the internal world of the INTJ, they are detached, independent, and tend to keep everything inside until the circumstances require it. They are generally quite reclusive and need to devote time and energy to reflecting, building, and resolving problems behind the scenes. The ENTJ enjoys the verbal sparring of a robust debate, and they are always willing to take a stand. As we said earlier, ENTJs will be brutally honest with you, and this can rub people up the wrong way. INTJs are also direct and honest, but they will be less likely to share their opinion on something unless it's a particularly keen interest of theirs. Number 8, intelligence. The INTJ personality type is unquestionably intellectually inclined. They are inherently curious. They have an overpowering desire to learn as much as possible about a wide range of topics. Their aim is to discover the truth by gathering and analyzing information logically and methodically. Their intuition and ability to get a sense of a situation quickly helps them make accurate judgments. They have an encyclopedic knowledge of many subjects and an impressive memory for recalling complex information. They collect and analyze data logically and form a plan based on that analysis. Working independently, they do not require the reassurance of others to validate their ideas. In addition to being creative, they are also proficient writers. ENTJs, like their INTJ counterparts, tend to be lifelong learners. They are problem solvers and good strategists. They can brainstorm with a group without any difficulty. Their intellectual success is usually attributed to their energy and enthusiasm. They can utilize their gift for logical reasoning more effectively due to their skill at planning and organizing. However, they don't mind getting the opinions of others in order to find a solution. In the face of complex situations, they excel at developing the appropriate tactics. As long as they are confident that they can learn as they go, they do not hesitate to explore subjects that they have no prior knowledge of. Number 9, are you INTJ or ENTJ test? You are increasingly likely to be an INTJ the more of the following questions you answer yes to. Solving problems on your own is more comfortable for you than solving them in groups. Stress can cause you to want to withdraw from the outside world sometimes. You are drawn to hobbies that can be done at home, like gaming or playing the guitar. Are you someone who reacts to certain events with gut feelings? Is it common for those feelings to prove correct? Your focus is more on the big picture than on the details. Before attempting to solve a problem, you must study all aspects of it. You are increasingly likely to be an ENTJ the more of the following questions you answer yes to. To be happy, you need a plan. Being around people makes you feel energized. When solving problems, you prefer to deal with measurable specifics. You enjoy hobbies with other people, such as team sports. Despite your love of new experiences, you dislike surprises. It's common for you to act quickly when facing a challenging situation without giving it much thought.